Is your bed cold at night? Discover the old blanket trick that works better than modern bedding. In today's world, staying warm at night seems like an easy task with all the modern bedding options available. From electric blankets to plush-down comforters, it's hard to imagine that anything could be more effective than the technologies we have now. However, there's a timeless method passed down through generations that outshines many of the modern bedding solutions. The truth is, our ancestors knew something we didn't about warmth and comfort. Despite the convenience of contemporary bedding, many people still struggle to stay warm during colder months, often finding that high-tech products just don't do the trick. This has led to a rising interest in the methods our grandparents used to keep their beds cozy through the night. Modern bedding may be designed to look sleek and feel luxurious, but in many cases, it fails to provide the same level of insulation and warmth that older bedding methods used to offer. Thick duvets and blankets might seem like they are enough, but the reality is that many modern materials don't perform well in terms of trapping heat. Synthetic fabrics, while easy to care for, often lack the insulating properties of natural fibers. They may feel warm initially, but they don't hold heat for long. On the other hand, traditional bedding methods using multiple layers of blankets and quilts created an airtight, insulating barrier that could trap warmth effectively and for longer periods. While it might seem like these old tricks are outdated, they are in fact a much more practical and reliable way to stay warm. It's a fascinating paradox. In a time of ever-improving technology, the simplest solutions may be the ones that work best. This story will explore how an old blanket arrangement, often forgotten in modern households, can actually keep beds warmer than the bedding we use today. To understand why older bedding methods were so effective, it's important to look at how warmth actually works in a bed. Heat doesn't come from blankets themselves. It comes from the human body. The real job of bedding is to trap that body heat and prevent it from escaping into the colder air. The more effectively heat is trapped, the warmer the bed feels. This is where many modern bedding options quietly fail. They are often designed for appearance, lightness, or convenience rather than true thermal efficiency. Warmth is best preserved when layers of air are held still. Air, when trapped, acts as a powerful insulator. Older bedding arrangements naturally created multiple air pockets by layering different types of blankets, wool, cotton, quilt, and even worn fabrics that had softened over time. Each layer slowed down heat loss, allowing warmth to build gradually and remain stable throughout the night. Instead of one thick blanket doing all the work, several thinner layers shared the task, creating a balanced system of insulation. Modern comforters often rely on uniform filling, which can compress under body weight. Once compressed, those materials lose the air pockets that are essential for insulation. As a result, heat escapes more easily, causing cold spots and frequent temperature changes during the night. Synthetic fibers also cool down faster, meaning the bed may feel warm at first but gradually lose heat as the night goes on. Another key factor is breathability. Older materials allowed moisture from the body to escape while still holding warmth. This prevented dampness, which can make a bed feel colder. When moisture builds up in modern bedding, it pulls heat away from the body, creating discomfort. The science is simple but powerful. Steady warmth depends on trapped air, breathable layers, and minimal compression. This is exactly what traditional blanket arrangements achieved so effortlessly. The old blanket trick that has been passed down through generations is surprisingly simple yet highly effective. The technique involves layering several blankets, quilts, and other natural fabrics in a specific order to maximize warmth and comfort. It's a method that prioritizes insulation through multiple layers, each contributing to the heat retention process. Unlike modern bedding, which often relies on single, thick comforters, the traditional approach uses a variety of materials, each serving a specific purpose in keeping the bed warmer for longer periods. The key to this trick lies in layering. The first layer is often a thick wool or cotton blanket placed directly on the bed. Wool, in particular, is a natural insulator, trapping body heat within its fibers while also allowing breathability, preventing overheating. On top of this, another layer of a slightly thinner, yet dense quilt is added. This layer creates an additional pocket of warm air, which is crucial for keeping the body's heat from escaping. In colder climates, a third layer of a heavier blanket, sometimes even a woolen or flannel throw, is added for extra warmth. These blankets might be thicker, but they still maintain the insulation properties of the other layers, ensuring that warmth is trapped effectively throughout the night. Each layer provides a protective shield of warmth, working together to combat the chill. This approach also has a secret advantage. The materials used in older blankets are often better at regulating temperature, unlike modern bedding that may trap heat too aggressively, making it uncomfortable. Older blankets allow for a steady balance of warmth and airflow. Additionally, the layers help to prevent the body from becoming too hot or too cold, offering a consistent and cozy environment. What's fascinating is that this blanket trick doesn't just rely on the fabric's thickness, but also its ability to create air pockets. These layers of air, trapped between fabrics, act as natural insulators, making this method far more effective at maintaining warmth than many modern bedding products. The reason the old blanket arrangement works better than many modern bedding solutions is due to the unique way it maximizes warmth through both natural materials and the layering technique. While modern bedding, such as thick comforters or down-filled duvets, promises warmth, these items often fail to live up to their expectations. This is because many modern products rely on synthetic materials that compress under weight and can trap heat effectively. Once compressed, they lose their insulating properties, causing heat to escape. On the other hand, the old method takes advantage of materials like wool, cotton, and linen, which naturally trap heat and breathe, keeping warmth locked in without causing overheating. Wool, for instance, is an outstanding natural insulator that is breathable and can regulate body temperature. Its crimped fibers trap pockets of air, which act as thermal barriers. Unlike synthetic fibers, wool retains its insulating ability even when slightly compressed, making it a much more reliable material for keeping warm. Cotton, too, is used effectively in traditional bedding arrangements, known for its softness and ability to trap heat without creating a suffocating environment. Another factor in the effectiveness of the old blanket trick is the layering method. Each layer creates additional pockets of air, enhancing the insulating properties of the bedding. The multiple layers not only trap heat but also prevent it from escaping by creating a barrier against the cold air outside the bed. Modern bedding, typically designed for convenience and style, often lacks this crucial function. One large, thick blanket or duvet simply can't compete with the way multiple layers of different materials combine to trap air and retain warmth. Moreover, the simplicity of the old blanket arrangement is its genius. It doesn't require expensive materials or technology, just a few well-placed blankets that work together to maintain a stable, comfortable temperature throughout the night. While modern bedding can be beautiful and high-tech, it doesn't always provide the consistent warmth that old-fashioned layering can offer. Recreating the old blanket arrangement at home is simpler than it may seem, and it can significantly improve your comfort during colder nights. The first step is selecting the right materials for the layers. Start with a heavy, natural fabric like wool or cotton. Wool is ideal because it retains warmth even in damp conditions, while cotton is breathable and provides a soft layer of insulation. The base layer should be a thick woolen blanket or a quilt that can act as a solid foundation to trap heat. If wool isn't available, a thick cotton blanket or even a flannel throw can work as a great alternative. The second layer should be something slightly lighter, like a cotton quilt or a thinner wool blanket. This layer's role is to create additional insulation without making the bed too heavy or uncomfortable. A quilted cotton blanket will provide warmth while allowing for some airflow, preventing the bed from becoming too hot. If you live in an area with extremely cold temperatures, you might consider adding a third layer made from a denser fabric, like another woolen throw or even a heavy comforter, which can further trap warmth. Once the layers are selected, it's important to properly arrange them on the bed. Start by spreading the first, thick wool blanket evenly across the bed. Place the thinner quilt or cotton blanket next, smoothing it over the first layer. The top layer should be the lightest but still provide warmth, such as a cotton or fleece throw. Be sure that each layer is slightly tucked in, ensuring that there are no gaps where heat can escape. Additionally, consider adding extra layers beneath the mattress for added insulation, like a woolen or fleece mattress pad. This helps to keep the cold from seeping up from the floor. By stacking these layers, you create a bed that maintains warmth through multiple insulating fabrics, providing an old-fashioned, yet highly effective, solution to staying warm on the coldest nights. If you found this tip helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stay tuned for more game-changing hacks to improve your home, your comfort, and your life. Join the community and never miss out on expert tips that actually work.